Refraction bends the light downward.
Good morning, everyone. So let's talk about this video and talk about the stitched video as well. There's some glaring contradictions here. One is, of course, the Fresnel lens in that video is actually bending light in all directions, kind of makes everything stretched in every direction. And what's really funny is people are trying to say the Fresnel lens imitates our atmosphere, which again, nothing in nature distorts light in all directions like that. So on a sphere, though, because of the atmosphere and the sun's light going through more of the atmosphere from the location you're at sunset, refraction can and does occur at times. But again, that is just one direction of refraction, and the Fresnel lens refracts center outward in all directions. So it's just comical for anybody to actually try to use a Fresnel lens to show that how our atmosphere works. And the second thing in that video, and I've done this several times on that specific video, you can see distortion or stretching upwards and in all directions. And we just don't experience that. And I've said this in other videos as well. When we look at the sun, there is no distortion. It's always a circle. When we look at airplanes, there is no distortion. When we look at the moon, there is no distortion. It's always in that regard when we're looking up in the sky, not at the horizon where there's, more atmosphere to go through. And so to make a claim that there's lensing in the atmosphere is just not what we see in observed reality, and flat earthers cannot replicate it with reality as well. So we have that. Now, here's the deal about this particular situation. Again, I've never seen this particular person actually go out and measure anything. It's just parroting or copying or whatever. Now, again, I'm not here to insult, make fun of, or belittle anybody. I'm just stating the information, right? But I have actually measured the sun. So in one of the stitched videos, it talks about the sun and not going, away and whatever. And here's the contradiction. So there are flat earthers that say, due to perspective and convergence, this is why the sun acts the way it does. And they'll even point out the sun and the glare getting smaller and smaller and showing, oh, look, this is the sun, actually getting smaller. But then we argue that's just the glare getting smaller because of increase in atmosphere density. And then there's flat earthers like Angels of Light wants to show the last 30 minutes of a sunset and show the compression due to atmospheric refraction or distortion and say that, look, the sun is shrinking and that's not supposed to happen on a globe. And now here we have, oh, wait, it's not going to shrink because of lensing, which we don't experience in nature. So on the flat earth side, there's contradicting information, contradicting ideologies. But let's show what I actually measure the sun doing during the day. All right, let's get set up here. So this is March 18th and September 21st and 22nd of this year, aka the equinoxes. Now, these are all the azimuthal angle measurements and the elevation angle measurements taken from that day. Now, on a flat earth, we have it at the equator. So that's our single point coordinate, right? So we have our azimuthal angle, that's one coordinate. We have our latitude position, that's our second coordinate. So that's a 2D representation. So we're looking at this model in 2 dimensions. So this is where the sun would be on the particular times that I've measured it on March 18th and September 21st and 22nd. So that is our 2-point coordinate system. So here's going to be the problem is once you introduce the elevation angle, right, then it does this. Okay, I've done this many times in many different videos. So this is the third coordinate of the measurements. So we have azimuth angle, we have elevation angle, and then we have the latitude position. And this is first and foremost one of the biggest problems on the flat earth that you're going to have to say that, why are the measurements, the observations and measurements that when plotted in 3 dimensions, why do they do this on a flat plane, right? Now you can't say perspective because then because you talked about not using perspective, because, per perspective, law of perspective, things move away, they get smaller. So they're not getting smaller as they move away, as I've shown in the images that I have, that I've taken. They're not getting smaller. So if they're not using perspective, then, there's something going on here. So there's quite a lot of contradictions in the ideology here. But yes, this is all the elevation angles and azimuth angles from the 18th and the 21st. So if you want to just take away and just do the 18th, this is what it does, right? So if you want to combine all the things that I've done, right? So these are all of the angular measurements, azimuth angles that I've taken throughout the course of this year. And they all form the same pattern. They all form the same arc. And they all cannot work on a flat Earth. So nobody has yet been able to explain or demonstrate how the sun is measured doing this in the sky, but actually doesn't do that in the sky. So that's another big thing that you're going to have to figure out. So anyway, I hope this helps. You guys get any questions, let me know. Take care and have a great day.